The Knicks are not done tweaking this roster, and not even close, because according to multiple insiders, New York is actively exploring two very different trade paths right now, one for a pesky playoff level guard and another for a trusted backup big that they do not clearly think that they have. And here's the thing, both moves actually tell us the same exact story about what the Knicks are preparing for. Let's talk about it. This isn't trade season noise, this is targeted roster fine-tuning, and Ian Begley confirmed yesterday that there remains interest from the Knicks right now in trading for Jose Alvarado. At the same time, Evan Sidery reported that the Knicks have checked in on Nick Richards, who's a player that they've had interest in for years. Two very different players, but one very clear pattern. Let's start with Jose Alvarado. Ian Begley said there's a quote, decent chance that something happens here unless the Pelicans find a better offer elsewhere. The framework would not be Tyler Kolek and Pacome Dadier, but rather Guerschon Yabusele and second-round picks. Now, on the surface, you might hear that and immediately ask, why add another small guard to an already crowded backcourt now with Tyler Kolek? And that's the right question to ask. Jeremy Cohen from Knicks Film School summed it up perfectly. He said Jose Alvarado only really makes sense if he opts into his deal and extends 6 months after the trade. Why does that matter? Because it helps the Knicks stay under the second apron, which sets them up to finally go above it in 2027 and 28. This isn't just about Jose Alvarado the player, it's about timing. Now, someone replied to Jeremy and said, quote, what's the marginal benefit of adding Jose to an already crowded rotation of undersized guards? And Jeremy's response was, quote, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but it's the size of the fight in the dog. And honestly, that's not just a quote, that's Knicks basketball. The Knicks need point of attack defense. Jose Alvarado gives you full court pressure, disruptive energy, and someone who can change the feel of a game in 5 minutes. Is he taking minutes from everyone? No, but playoff rotations are not about fairness, they're about matchups. Now keep all of that in mind, because the other name that the Knicks are checking on actually fills a completely different playoff concern. Evan Sidery reported that the Knicks are among the teams that have checked in with the Suns regarding Nick Richards, and if that name sounds familiar, it should. The Knicks have had interest in Richards for years. Ian Begley and other credible reporters have linked him to New York multiple times in the past. This tells us something important. Although the Knicks really like Ariel Hukporti's potential, the Knicks might not fully trust him in a playoff setting if he's suddenly forced into real minutes. And Trey Jemison, he's on a two-way contract, meaning that he's currently ineligible for the playoffs unless he's converted. So if Mitchell Robinson goes down or foul trouble hits, you need a big that you can actually trust. Now here's the part that most people are missing. Nick Richards is currently on a $5 million expiring contract, and Guerschon Yabusele is making $5.5 million this year with a $5.8 million player option next season. That player option is the issue because Yabusele has not played well this season or much at all, so that's exactly why teams do not love that option and would probably require at least a second-round pick or two to pick it up. But for Phoenix specifically, a change of scenery could make sense for both sides, and this is why the Knicks would likely attach a second-round pick. I think one is enough because Nick Richards is not playing well himself. That pick is not just for Nick Richards, but it's for getting off the option. Now step back and look at both of these rumors together. Jose Alvarado and Nick Richards, guys like that. This is not about star chasing for someone like Giannis, this is about playoff insurance. And don't forget, James Edwards and Mark Stein both recently reported that the Knicks made Pacome Dadier and Guerschon Yabusele the only players really available on the market. The organization is preparing for matchup chaos in the playoffs as well as injury variance and postseason pressure. These are margin moves, and margins win playoff series. So now I'll throw it to you. If you could only pick one of these guys, do you want the POA menace in Jose Alvarado or the trusted backup big in Nick Richards? Or do you think the Knicks should stand pat entirely and not trade anyone? I personally say get Jose Alvarado because he's a Brooklyn native and a native New Yorker, and he's also a dog, very scrappy player. And then I would probably give Alvarado the backup point guard minutes if necessary, because in the playoffs I think I trust him more than I do Kolek. And backup big maybe could be addressed by converting Trey Jemison to a two-way deal, or possibly trading someone like Pacome Dadier, who the Knicks have still made available anyways, for someone like a big. We shall see what happens, but as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel for more Knicks news and updates you will not want to miss. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.